I've personally managed over £30 million in Facebook advertising spend for the home improvement and home service sector. Businesses like kitchens, windows, bathrooms, doors, conservatories, extensions, the lot. And in that time, I've learned things that took years and cost clients hundreds of thousands of pounds to figure out. So this video is all of it. Every lesson, every mistake, every shortcut. If you run a home service business and you're running ads or thinking about it, this is everything that I wish someone had told me before I spent the first million. Lesson 1. Ads are an amplifier, not a magic button. If you've got bad offer plus ads, then that equals faster failure. Ads will show your rubbish offer to more people quicker. So fix what you're selling before you even go and touch the account. You need to ask yourself, if my offer was presented to 1,000 perfect customers today, how many of them would say yes? If the answer isn't strong, fix that first. Lesson 2. The ad's only job is to get somebody to raise their hand. You are not selling an entire kitchen on Facebook. You're selling the next step in the funnel. The ad gets the click, the landing page gets the lead, the call gets the appointment gets the sale. Most business owners confuse these jobs, so write your ad with one CTA only. Lesson 3. Cost per lead is a vanity metric. I've seen companies celebrating £8 leads with a 2% book rate, and I've seen other companies complaining about £45 or £50 leads that close at 40%. Which business would you rather run? Cost per qualified appointment and most importantly, cost per acquisition are the only two numbers that really matter. Everything else is noise. Lesson 4. Home improvement is a considered purchase, not an impulse buy. Nobody sees a Facebook ad and buys a kitchen for 40 grand in 20 minutes. The funnel and sales cycle is longer than people think. Your ads are starting a conversation, not closing a sale. Build for that reality. Understand that your customer is going to require some nurture. They're going to want to know who you are. They're making a decision that is potentially the biggest amount of money that they're ever going to spend besides when they actually bought their house. So give them that courtesy, understand that it requires a lot of thinking, and understand that they are going to want to trust you and need to see a lot more nurture assets than you'd think in order to feel 100% confident that you are the company that can do it for them. Lesson 5. You're competing for attention, not just clicks. Home improvement business owners think that their competitor is the next window company. It's not. It's every other ad in the feed. Car insurance, holidays, clothing. You're fighting for 2 seconds of attention. So remember that when you create your own ads. Like, you should watch your own ads in the Facebook feed and be honest with yourself. Like, would you stop scrolling? Would you convert on that ad? And if not, why not? Lesson 6. Targeting areas is probably going to be your best friend. When you're a local company that only serves a certain constituency, you need to understand that over the course of however long you've been serving, your best customers probably came from a certain area. Now, you can target that area specifically down to the individual postcode. And there's so many home improvement business owners that aren't even doing this or don't even realize that they can be this granular with their ads. So you can target affluent areas. You can target areas that get a lot of natural sunlight. So like they're going to have more conservatories. You can target new build areas that that they're going to need kitchen renovations. Whatever it is, you can target that down to an absolute T. And it's important that you utilize that when you're actually going and running your ads. Lesson 7. Nobody wakes up in the morning dying to be sold to. They wake up with a problem. Lead with their problem in the ad, not your company name, not always talking about how great and how strong you are, how good looking you are. The more you talk about yourself instead of them, you lose them. You want to talk directly to their pain, their thoughts, and what you can do for them. People only care about themselves and customers only care about themselves. So maybe you could start your ad copy with a question that they're already asking themselves. Like, for example, you still putting up with those drafty windows? You still putting up with that drafty conservatory? And try something like that. Lesson 8. Be wary of fast budget change. I've seen so many times in accounts where people think that, okay, if I'm spending £50 a day profitably or £100 a day profitably, then let me just ramp that up to £1,000 and see what happens. There are cases where you can make huge budget increases and it works, but usually it's when the total addressable market of the people that you can target is very wide and very large. If you're targeting just a small constituency of people, only like a few postcodes or a few areas or a few cities in a country, then ramping up budgets massively is just going to shock the system. What I would always recommend is that you give it a bit of time to adjust, and every time you do a budget increments, like do it in increments of 10-20%, see what that does for performance, and then make a decision off the back of that in terms of what you want to do after that as well. Set a rule that you should never increase budget like crazy, and then just go about it step by step. Lesson 9, running the same creative for 6 months and wondering why it stopped working. Ad fatigue is real and it's quiet. It doesn't always crash dramatically, Sometimes it just gets slowly more expensive until you notice that you're paying twice as much before for the same result. You need to understand that creative production is one of like the key areas in which you need to be good at in order to run ads at a high level. You can't just create 1 or 2 ads and then just run them forever. Depending on how much you're spending, I would say to get into the habit of doing it every week, or at least every 2 weeks you make new ads. Lesson 10, not calling your leads back as soon as possible. I've audited companies with 24, 48, 72 hour response times and wondering why their leads don't convert. By the time that you've called, they've already spoken to 2 of the competitors and every Tom, Dick and Harry down the road. Speed to lead isn't a nice to have. It's effectively the whole game. When I go in and I do these big audits, what I see is that the number one most important area that I optimize towards more so than anything else, it would be speed to lead. And so if you can't call within a couple of minutes, then hire somebody that can. Send an immediate personalized text, WhatsApp as soon as the lead comes in. Just do what you can in order to get in contact with him. Lesson 11, sending ad traffic to the homepage. This one is so annoying. Your homepage is for Google. For paid ads, you want a dedicated landing page with one job. Convert the visitor into a lead. The homepage has the navigation, it's got a nice video, it's got 12 different options, it conveys your business in a nice manner. The landing page has one button. It's a night and day difference in conversion rates. Do not run your ad traffic just to your landing page because 99% of the time, your landing page isn't good enough to convert. Lesson 12, turning off ads after 3 days because they're not working. Meta's algorithm technically needs 50 optimization events per ad set to exit the learning phase. If you're pulling the plug after 3 days and like £20 in spend, you're not even giving it a chance. You're paying for the algorithm to learn and then scrapping it before it can deliver. Just be mindful about how quickly you're killing things and what kind of time frame you're making decisions in, and give things time to breathe. You know what I mean? Don't be so hasty that, hey, it spent a tenner, didn't get a lead, I'm going to kill it. It spent £50, I didn't get a lead, I'm going to kill it. Let things go through like a couple of days worth of motion before you start axing everything inside of the ad account. Lesson 13, testing 5 things at once and learning nothing. So I see this constantly, new creative, new audience, new budget, new landing page, all at the same time. And when it fails, you have no idea why. And when it works, you have no idea why. What I'd say is that test one variable at a time, even if it's slower. What I'd recommend is that when you're setting up your tests, you want to separate them in the ad account. You either need to run one test at a time, which is slower, or the way in which you run the test needs to be done in a way in which there is always an independent, dependent, and control variable. You need to have these things clearly defined, clearly understood in each test that you're running, and then you can run the test and see what comes off the back of it. Discipline in testing is discipline in scaling. Lesson 14, blaming the ad account when the real problem is after the lead comes in. So I fixed ad accounts for companies, dramatically improved cost per lead, and the revenue didn't move. Why? That's because the follow-up was broken. 60% of the time, the ads aren't the problem. The problem is what happens after the lead lands. So make sure that you're paying attention. Lesson 15, buying cheap shared leads and wondering why they don't close. A lead that came from your ad raised their hand specifically for you, saw your company and one of your representatives in the video is not the same lead as sold to 4 other companies simultaneously. Exclusive, intent-based leads from your own ads will always outperform shared leads, even at a higher cost per lead. And if you don't believe me, just calculate your close rate on shared leads versus your own ads. The number usually ends the argument. Lesson 16, leaving so much money on the table because you don't have a follow-up sequence at all. At most home improvement companies, they call once, get no answer, maybe call again, and then move on. The data says that most leads need about 5 to 8 touch points before they book on one call. That means that you're throwing away the majority of your ad spend and your marketing. I would say to build a minimum 5-step follow-up, call, SMS, email, call, WhatsApp, and automate where possible. Lesson 17, creative is the new targeting. A few years ago, you could just be crazy inside of your ad sets and have like subpar creatives and still get results. But that area is largely dead. Meta's AI is now so sophisticated that your creative determines who sees your ad a lot of the time. So if you show a kitchen renovation, Meta will find kitchen buyers. That means that your ad is your targeting now. Give it that importance when you're actually making it. Don't rush it and do it well. Lesson 18, broad targeting is infinitely scalable and is probably one of the best. So this is counterintuitive but true, but I ran the same ad one to a really tightly defined audience and one to a broad audience as well. Ultimately, broad got a cheaper cost per lead, but I needed to do more work in order to get the quality there. So just remember that if you're looking for cheap leads, go broader. And if you're looking for better quality leads in the short term, then you can go more targeted. Lesson 19, video ads overtake static creatives, but only the right kind of video, and statics are still good. Polished corporate videos with voiceovers and stock music get scroll past. But a straight to camera 30-second video from the owner or a genuine before and after walkthrough shot on the phone outperforms every time. Authenticity wins, more so than production value. The algorithm rewards variance and consistency more than anything. If you're constantly switching, pausing, restarting all the time, then that is the enemy. The accounts that perform the best over time are the ones that spend consistently. They don't panic. They make incremental changes. They understand that patience is a strategy. Commit yourself to 90 days and see what happens. Your hook is worth more than the rest of the ad. The first 3 to 5 seconds of a video ad or the first line of copy determines whether anybody sees the rest. That is your 80-20. I've had ads where everything was perfect except the hook and they completely bombed. And ads with rough production but a killer opening line that consistently outperformed polished content. Win the first 3 seconds or lose the whole thing.
Lesson 21.
One winning ad can run profitably for months and you can spend thousands behind it if you protect it properly. When you find that truly great ad, the one that resonates, converts, and scales, your job is to protect it, not kill it. Don't improve it out of boredom. Don't merge it into a campaign restructure. Don't pause it to test something new in the same ad set. Treat it, the winner, like a golden goose. Some of my best ads from ran over a year untouched, only changing a couple of the copy here and there. Lesson 22. Seasonality in home improvement is a real thing. I've spoke with so many home improvement business owners, and you guys already know that you have busy seasons and you have non-busy seasons. And you should tailor your marketing to be in line with that, so that it either gives you extra momentum when you're in your busy season and you lay the foundation so that when you're not that busy, that you can supplement it with the work that you get from your marketing. Lesson 23. Mention the specific town in the ad copy and the ad. Kitchens in Manchester beats kitchens near you most of the time, unless it's on Google. It feels personal. It feels like the ad was made specifically for them. And honestly, the more specific that you can be with your messaging and your creative, the more that message is going to cut through and have deeper resonance with your ideal customer profile. So definitely be as specific as you can. Lesson 24. Before and after content is chef's kiss. It's one of the highest performing creative formats in the industry because it just shows the transformation, a side by side of what you can do for the customer. The old house versus the new. If people personify with the before, they're going to personify with the after, and it just invokes a lot of emotion, which in turn makes people take action. Lesson 25, use friction in your process as a lever. So what I mean by this is that whatever process that somebody needs to go through in order to submit an inquiry, whether it's a lead form or whether it's a web form or whether it's a quiz or whatever, you can add friction into that process and you can see that as basically like a lever for quality and price. If you reduce the friction, you will get less quality leads at a cheaper price. If you increase the friction, you will get better quality leads at a more expensive price. So you can use this friction kind of as like a lever to find that balance in terms of what is the level of qualification that these leads need to have and what kind of volume do you need to have and what kind of cost do you need to acquire them at in order for you to be happy. Lesson 26, your testimonials are your most underused asset. A real customer on camera saying, I was nervous, but they transformed our home and it was absolutely perfect, will outperform a lot of the ads that you write from scratch. Because like I said, you are in the business of building trust with your customers. You need potential prospects to look at you and trust you. And if they see that you have got videos of homeowners actually saying how good it was, then they're going to trust you a lot more.
Lesson 27.
Price anchoring in your ad copy and your creative dramatically can improve lead quality. When your ad says kitchens from 15,000 or our average project is 8 to 20,000, you self-qualify instantly. The person who actually clicks and goes through already knows the ballpark. Yes, your volume drops, but if you've not got good infrastructure, this can be a really good way of added friction. And the person that just wanted a £500 quote off a man with a van isn't going to convert on your ads in the first place, and you can save that time. Lesson 28, make sure there is harmony throughout your marketing. If you've got an ad that says new fitted kitchen in 8 weeks in Leeds, but then when somebody clicks on it, they're like, welcome to ABC Kitchens in Manchester, it creates a disconnect. People lose confidence in the message and bounce. Message matching is and having harmony in terms of what it says in the ad, what it says on the landing page, what it says when you call them, and what you say at the appointment is so important in order to convert these people. Lesson 29, retarget your video viewers. If you have got a video ad out there that you spent a lot of money on and you can see that it's got a lot of impressions and a lot of views, you can just retarget the people that had watched 50 to 75% of that video already. And sometimes you can put a really long video on there, like something that is actually long form, run that as an ad, just optimize it towards video views, and then retarget them as well. If you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, my ad performance could be better, or I want to start running ads, and you're already established, you're making $1 million or $2 million a year, but you really want to scale to like 10, 20, 50 million and beyond, then I've opened up a few more slots. You can click the first link in the description and book a call with me, and we'll see if we can help you achieve your dreams. Lesson 30, most businesses don't have an ads problem, they have a sales process problem. I can bring you 50 qualified appointments a month. If your closers don't show up, follow up poorly, they can't handle objections, the ads look like they failed. The ad account is the top of every chain. Every link below it has to hold. Lesson 31, the 3 things that consistently drive down cost per qualified appointment. Number 1, offer clarity. Number 2, creative quality. And number 3, speed to lead. Not targeting, not budget, not campaign structure. If your offer is clear, your creative is authentic, and you call within 5 minutes, everything else is just optimization around those edges. Lesson 32. If you're not reviewing your data weekly, then you're flying blind. I've taken over accounts where nobody had looked at the numbers in 3 months. The cost per lead had crept from 20, 30 pounds all the way up to hundreds of pounds gradually, but nobody had noticed. The winning accounts have owners or managers who look at CPA, booking rate, show up rate, cost per lead, cost per qualified appointment, cost per sit every single week without fail. So make sure that you have a non-negotiable like 30-minute window where you review all of your numbers in the calendar every morning. Lesson 33. The most expensive mistake is stopping ads when business is good. Every home improvement company has a pipeline lag where it takes a few weeks from a lead to a job. When you're busy fitting kitchens and you stop ads, 6 weeks later you have nothing in the pipeline, and then you're back to square one. This is the feast or famine cycle that is almost always self-inflicted. Keep ads running consistently even when you don't need leads today, because in a bit of time, you will. So now you have got the distilled lessons from spending 30 million plus on these kind of ads over the course of the last 7 years. But you have not got the step-by-step strategy. If you want to see me build a home improvement campaign on Meta ads from end to end, from scratch, just what I would do in 2026, and the kind of campaign structure that I'm running right now today, then click this video and I'll see you there.